On January 1st, a 7.5 magnitude earthquake struck Ichika, Japan. Curiously, Nostradamus predicted this exact event over 400 years ago. Nostradamus's predictions are becoming reality, and there is much new evidence to support this. But something shocking is about to happen this year, so you may want to stay until the end of this video to find out exactly what is going to happen to the planet. On January 1st, a 7.5 magnitude earthquake hit Japan. Many people around the world are relating this disaster to a prophecy by Nostradamus. This French astrologer predicted the earthquake long before, and people are shocked to see that it happened exactly as he said. And before you dismiss this as just another prediction, let's take a look at the evidence. In his most famous book, Les Prophéties, published in 1555, he says, in 2024, there will be a catastrophic earthquake on the coast of Japan, triggering a tsunami that will devastate homes and kill hundreds of people. Now, this is quite a prediction, but it is alarmingly accurate, and we cannot ignore it. There is a list of world events predicted by him. This includes the death of Queen Elizabeth I and the rise to power of Hitler. Both events, as you know, happened, and it is quite alarming to know that more such events are waiting to happen this year. So let's delve a little deeper and find out who Nostradamus is and what 2024 has in store for us. This French astrologer lived between the years 1503 and 1566. His full name was Michel de Nostradamus, but he was popularly known as Nostradamus. His book, Les Prophéties, was published in 1555. It was a book full of predictions. There were 942 poetic quatrains predicting future events. He was very concerned about whether his astrological predictions would be attacked by the church. The prophecies were not written in a single language. It was a mix of Greek, Italian, Provençal, and Latin. The words were mixed in these languages and used to form a sentence. Only those who knew these languages would be able to read and understand the true meaning of the predictions. And it's not easy. Many world events were predicted by him, and many people strongly believe that he can predict the future through these prophecies. It is very important to understand their true meaning. The death of notable people was predicted by him, and many references to both natural and man-made disasters are in his prophecies. Let's take a look at the list of his predictions that have come true so far, and that's where it gets shocking. The Great Fire of London was one of his predictions. The blood of the just will be lacking in London, burned in the fire of 66. The ancient lady will fall from her high place, and many of the same sect will be killed. The Great Fire of London happened on September 2nd, 1666. It started as a very small fire, but then the entire city was consumed by the fire that started at Thomas Farriner's bakery, located on Pudding Lane. But that's not even the craziest prediction. Another example of these predictions was Hitler's terror in Europe. From the depths of Western Europe, a poor child will be born. He who by his tongue will seduce a great troop. His fame will increase towards the realm of the East. Fierce beasts with hunger will cross the rivers. The greater part of the battlefield will be against Hitler. In a cage of iron, the Great One will be dragged when the child of Germany observes nothing. Hitler used his oratory skills to lead the Nazi Party. The name Hitler is not a typographical error, rather, it has a special meaning. It refers to the Danube River where the real Hitler was born. Can you notice the difference? Do you believe that what we experienced in the past is real, and what awaits us in the future has already been predicted by Nostradamus? And just when we thought it couldn't get more terrifying, Nostradamus predicted what happened in Hiroshima and Nagasaki. The celestial dart will extend its course. Death in speech, a great achievement. Proud nation will be struck by a stone in the tree. Rumors of monstrous human bring purification, then atonement. The United States dropped 2 atomic bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. It was the end of World War II. But no one expected such a disastrous measure on this scale. People. But let's take a break for a moment, because we are about to enter into what will happen this year. So, you might want to stay tuned at this moment. Looking to the future, we can see that this year will not be like any other year. Many of Nostradamus' predictions will come true this year. and we need to be prepared for that. And here is the first. The dry land will become more parched, and there will be great floods. When seen, it will be a year full of calamities. We will not have time to recover from these calamities. One after another, they will keep coming. Earthquakes and volcanic eruptions will leave us without access to water. Dehydration will hit us, and this will cause social changes. Hunger and drought will be byproducts of these disasters. People will fight for water and food. And here is where it gets even more shocking. Without abbots, monks, nor novices to imprison, honey will cost much more than candle wax. So high the price of wheat, that man is stirred to eat his fellow man in despair. There will be a significant decline in the finances of prosperous countries. Social unrest will tear the country apart. People will resort to agriculture and migrate to other regions with more water. It is better to be prepared than to cry at the time. Conflicts will arise between states as they fight for water. And this is not even the end. Here is where it gets more interesting. Another of his predictions was the deterioration of Putin's health this year. The health of Vladimir Putin will be under threat. This Russian leader will suffer health problems, and it will be a turbulent year for him. The prediction also mentions a diabolical successor born under the same Chinese zodiac sign. Someone close to Putin will exploit this situation. He will try to take power from Putin's hands. Both nationally and internationally, this will be affected. The person who will do such an act will be a close confidant of Putin. The change in leadership will lead to a destabilizing environment. But this is where things start to change. Nostradamus' critical vision for 2024 is the change in the world economy. And he says, as wealth and power begin to sway, doubt in leaders, currencies adrift, seeking answers. A changing trend. New horizons call around the corner. Which nation will reshape the global landscape in 2024? Nostradamus predicts that India will be a country that will play a crucial role in reshaping the geopolitical and financial global landscape. The world stage will undergo significant changes that will impact our future. The year 2024 is also referred to as the Year of the Dragon. This year will be prosperous in courage, confidence, and wealth. There will be a decentralized digital realm. New opportunities await us. But that is not all. Things are going to get really interesting now. The most interesting prediction of Nostradamus is the existence of an extraterrestrial civilization. The trajectory of our planet is closely monitored by these creatures, and we will make contact with them. A fragile peace will be established by the end of 2024. What do you think? Would extraterrestrial creatures help us? Nostradamus predicted that a global telepathic connection would be established. Humans will be able to connect better through their minds. They will not need to verbally communicate their needs and emotions. They will be able to work together more easily. There will be fewer fights and more care. People will come together to love and help each other. Now, let's take a step back for a minute to analyze two more important quotes. Nostradamus predicted that there will be a naval year in 2024. He says red adversaries will grow pale with fear, putting the great ocean in dread. Many people believe that this verse refers to an attack on Taiwan by China. The flag of China is red. And he also predicted that the king of the islands will not remain in power for long. He continues saying, a new king will be anointed who for a long time will bring peace to the land. The king of the islands could be King Charles III. He will face personal attacks due to his relationship with Camilla. People still remember Princess Diana and believe that it was Camilla who took Charles from her. It was Nostradamus who predicted the death of the Queen of England. Long before, the current religious head of Catholics is Pope Francis. He may be replaced. Someone else will take his place. But this is where things get really shocking. Nostradamus then says, by the death of a very old pontiff, a Roman of good age will be elected. He will be said to weaken his faith, but for a long time he will sit in mordant activity. A younger pope would take over. There could be a potential reduction in power. We may enter a period of decline in the power of the Catholic Church. Doesn't this remind you of another prophecy? The prophecy of Saint Malachi, perhaps of the last pope. Nostradamus, an expert in astronomy and medicine, spoke several languages, such as Latin and Greek, fluently. He was very interested in astrology and studied the subject deeply. The successful doctor made all these predictions. Many people strongly believe that all this will come true. Only time will tell the truth. However, it is time for us to start preparing. He faced criticism for all the predictions he made, but that didn't stop him. He believed in himself and went ahead with what he thought was right. It was in 1566 that he said goodbye to this world. A diverse and enigmatic legacy is before us for us to analyze and decipher the mystery of life. Nostradamus left us all the clues for the future. There are many challenges that someone can face when trying to interpret Nostradamus' writings. People like Nostradamus are born 1 in a million. They receive the power of deduction and can see the future. Most people believe in him, while there is a group that refuses to believe the predictions or in him. They think the verses contain nothing but something from his imagination. Now the question that remains is, do you really believe in these predictions? Do you think there is a chance of all this happening this year? It is uncertain, and only time will tell the truth. What we can do is find the events that occurred in past times, and the similarity of these events with his predictions. And this will make people understand that what Nostradamus predicted has come true so far. But there are 2 more predictions that we have not been able to decipher, and that we believe are of great importance. So let's take a look. The young lion will overcome the older one in the field of combat. In a single battle, he will pierce his eyes through a golden cage. 2 wounds will become 1. Then he will die a cruel death. From the enslaved populace, songs, chants, and demands. While princes and lords are held captive, these will in the future be received as divine prayers by headless idiots. This way, you will stay up to date with all the news and won't miss any videos we post. We have many other interesting contents planned, and we can't wait to share them with you. In the next video, we will continue exploring themes that challenge our imagination and expand our knowledge about the world and the universe. So stay tuned and prepared for more surprising discoveries. We greatly appreciate your company and participation. Your support is essential for us to continue bringing quality content. If you have suggestions for topics or questions about what we discussed today, leave them a comment below. We love hearing what you have to say, and your ideas are always welcome. Many people nowadays claim to be able to predict the future, yet the majority are either ambiguous or untrustworthy. Although one name sticks out above the others, Michel de Nostradamus, also known as Nostradamus. He was a French astrologer, apothecary, and physician of the 16th century who wrote enigmatic quatrains that were said to foretell significant historical occurrences, including the rise and fall of empires, conflicts, natural disasters, and even the end of the world. While some of his prophecies have yet to come true, others have been uncannily precise. However, what is Nostradamus' prediction for 2024? 10 of Nostradamus' prophecies that are set to come true in 2024 will be discussed in this video, along with the possible implications for humanity and the environment. 10. A new pope. The emergence of a new pope in 2024 is one of Nostradamus' most enigmatic prophecies. The present leader of the Catholic Church, Pope Francis, is already in his late 80s, and recent health problems have cast doubt on his long-term health. It's not out of the question that Pope Francis may die or retire in 2024, leading to the election of a new pope. Nostradamus wrote in one of his quatrains, "Through the death of a very old pontiff, a Roman of good age will be elected." Nostradamus predicts that the new pope will weaken his see, and that he will hold the office for a very long period, despite the fact that the appointment of a younger, more energetic pope appears to be beneficial for the church. A fact, there is disagreement on the precise meaning of the phrase, weaken his see. Does he imply that the church will become less influential in some way? Or is there going to be a bigger controversy that will damage the church's reputation? The statement, "He will not be the chosen Roman pontiff. He will not be heeded near or far," may also allude to the possibility of opposition and criticism directed at the incoming pope from both inside and outside the church. With the great king's assistance, a kid with dark complexion will give the bag to another red one. The poem also makes reference to the dark-skinned youngster, implying that the next pope would be an African or Asian cardinal with the backing of a strong authority figure, maybe a secular or religious leader. For the church, which has been ruled by Europeans for centuries, This would be a historic shift. 9. Trump in the 2024 presidential contest. The controversial former U.S. President Donald Trump's possible return to the White House in 2024 is one of the most startling predictions. Nostradamus said that the white dragon will return and America will be in chaos again in 2024. He'll split the country in half and unleash chaos and carnage across the board. As a result, the dominating power will weaken, putting the entire globe in peril. The white dragon can only be halted by people who possess courage and wisdom. According to Nostradamus' forecast, if Donald Trump wins re-election to a second term as president, there will be a lot of disagreements and difficulties in the years to come. Additionally, he predicted that the leaks would seriously weaken the basis of the nation, increasing anti-Trump sentiment and damaging his image. It's clear now that Trump has been involved in politics, speaking out at rallies, supporting political candidates, and attacking the present government. Not only that, but he has made his desire in the presidency known by formally launching his 2024 presidential campaign. If Nostradamus is correct, 2024 may bring about a shocking and unexpected election that will have an impact on everyone. 8. War between the U.S. and China. The conflict between the United States and China is one of Nostradamus' enigmatic prophecies. It's true what they say. A friend of mine is an enemy of mine. Well, not just now. Nostradamus predicted that in 2024, there would be a terrible naval battle that will fill the seas with fear and panic. In his book Les Prophéties, published in 1555. Additionally, he predicted that the red enemy, which may be China, will be pale and trembling. Translators have connected the Chinese President Xi Jinping, whose name sounds close to Mabuse when said backwards, to the leader of the red enemy, who he referred to as Mabuse. While there are a lot of logical reasons why a conflict between the U.S. and China may break out in 2024, among these is the dispute over Taiwan, an island recognized as Chinese territory by China, but supported by the U.S. As a democratic state, China has stepped up military exercises and presence around the island, and it has frequently threatened to use force to bring Taiwan back to the mainland. Conversely, the United States has committed to safeguarding Taiwan and has supplied the island with weaponry and equipment valued at billions of dollars. A conflict might break out due to any error or provocation in this tight and unpredictable circumstances. The trade war, which has been going on for years and hurt both economies, is another. Energy, technology, and agriculture are just a few of the industries that have been impacted by the tariffs and penalties that the U.S. and China have placed on each other's products and services. In addition to causing more animosity and mistrust between the two giants, the trade war has also created economic instability and uncertainty worldwide. Despite several rounds of discussions and negotiations, the trade war remains unresolved and has the potential to turn into a full-fledged conflict. The competition for leadership and influence on a worldwide scale, particularly in the fields of technology, security, and human rights, is the third. China and the U.S. have been vying for supremacy and domination in a number of fields, including cyber warfare, artificial intelligence, space exploration, and nuclear weapons. Despite U.S. President Joe Biden's attempts to strengthen ties with China in 2023, these problems have proven delicate and difficult to address. He spoke with Chinese President Xi Jinping in November about a range of subjects, including Taiwan, fentanyl, and climate change. However, there were no significant agreements or breakthroughs from the summit, and tensions remained high. The charges of cyber attacks, human rights breaches, and espionage and sabotage made by both parties cast a cloud over the conference. The gathering was less of a sincere attempt to settle the disagreements and conflicts, and more of a diplomatic ploy. If Nostradamus is correct, the world may see a devastating war that will impact everyone in 2024 when the U.S. and China eventually go to battle. 7. The world will be ruled by China. Over the past few decades, China has experienced rapid growth in both its economic and military power. As the world grows increasingly linked and interdependent, this tendency does not appear to be slowing down. China, with the second biggest economy in the world right now, is rapidly gaining more and more cultural and economic clout throughout the world. China is making remarkable advances in science and technology, from erecting the biggest radio telescope in the world to launching the first quantum satellite ever. China is also influencing worldwide culture and entertainment. From manufacturing the most well-liked mobile games to housing the largest film industry in the world, Nostradamus predicted that China will continue to rise and eventually surpass the U.S. as the world's leading power. With China being in charge of international trade, diplomacy, and security, the world order may undergo significant upheaval as a result of this transformation. It is unclear if this increase will lead to international peace or violence. He declared the great city's empire will not consent to the great leopard's corrupt practices. This is up for interpretation, but some think the large city might be a reference to the unified states, and the giant leopard could be a symbol of China. His armies, unified by the East, will compel him to meet a crimson enemy. Others believe that Nostradamus was simply really thirsty when he wrote this, and that the enormous leopard is merely a reference to the well-known Chinese delicacy, leopard milk tea. In either case, the rest of us had best get used to the fact that China is set to become the next global powerhouse. 6. Humans could live between 150 and 170 years. The possibility of a 170-170-year lifespan extension for humans is one of the most intriguing predictions for 2024. The human body may continue to mend itself for a significant length of time, which leads to a lifespan that can range from 150 to 170 years. It would appear that science would need to step in to assist the population increase even more if humans were to live longer than this particular limit. It seems that the only option to increase human lifespan beyond what is naturally possible is to find ways to make the body more resilient. This type of advancement might be enabled by the development of novel medications, the use of cell reprogramming methods, or the incorporation of artificial organs. Scientists are working to increase the average lifetime of humans, demonstrating the interplay between scientific progress and the inherent limitations of human bodies. Well, living longer in 2024 has a lot of advantages and drawbacks. Gaining additional life experience through things like meeting new people, traveling to new places, and acquiring new skills is one of the advantages. The opportunity to further contribute to society through worthwhile initiatives, charitable volunteer work, or mentoring the next generation is another advantage. The opportunity to experience more of the family, including more time spent with loved ones, more milestones witnessed, and more memories made, is a third advantage. 5. The sleep bank. According to Nostradamus, technology that would enable humans to store and withdraw sleep from a sleep bank will become available in 2024. This implies that individuals will be able to sleep for longer stretches of time when they have the leisure and then withdraw from their sleep during times of stress or busyness when they are unable to obtain adequate rest. Even though this prediction appears improbable, several academics are investigating the potential applications of this technology. For example, some people already practice polyphasic sleep, which is sleeping more than once within a 24-hour period. Studies on the consequences of sleep deprivation and strategies for reducing them are also being done. Should this technology come to pass, it has the potential to completely transform our way of living and working, making us more effective and productive. Though not wholly novel, the concept of a sleep bank would need substantial improvements in our knowledge of sleep and the human brain. Certain brain waves or chemicals may be manipulated, according to some experts, to create a condition of restfulness, without the requirement for actual sleep. Others speculate that we may create medications or technology that simulate the benefits of sleep, enabling us to recharge our bodies and brains quickly. Even if it may sound unrealistic, the idea of a sleep bank is not totally unheard of. We could eventually be able to regulate our sleep cycles in ways that were previously unthinkable as technology develops. Until then, to preserve the best possible physical and mental health, it's critical to prioritize obtaining enough sleep and adhering to a regular sleep routine. 4. A new energy source will be found. A new energy source being found is one of the most interesting predictions for 2024. It's possible that scientists may discover a means to utilize an energy source that hasn't been discovered yet, such as dark matter, antimatter, or zero-point energy, as suggested by Nostradamus' prophecy that a new engine will be invented, which will be powered by a new and mysterious source of energy. On the other hand, it could allude to the creation of new technology that produces energy more sustainably and effectively than existing techniques. The world may be significantly affected if a new energy source is discovered. It offers a more sustainable and clean substitute for fossil fuels. which might lessen our reliance on them and help fight climate change. It may also result in fresh technical developments and breakthroughs in a number of industries, including healthcare, communication, and transportation. Moreover, it may stimulate the world economy by spawning new businesses and employment. A new energy source might, however, potentially provide difficulties and dangers. For example, it can result in disputes and tensions on the geopolitical front about distribution and control of the new energy source. It may also have unforeseen social or environmental effects that require cautious management. Thus, it is critical that scientists, decision-makers, and the general public collaborate to guarantee that the advantages of this new energy source are optimized for the future, while limiting any possible drawbacks. 3. A major California earthquake. Nostradamus foresaw that a major earthquake will occur in California in 2024. The land of the West will be shaken by a great tremor, he said, predicting extensive damage and fatalities. Given that California is situated near the Pacific Ring of Fire, a region well known for its seismic activity, this forecast is not wholly unexpected. The destructive Northridge earthquake of 1994 and the deadly San Francisco earthquake of 1906 are just two of the many earthquakes that have struck the state in the past. Although it is hard to pinpoint the precise time and location of an earthquake, scientists have been keeping an eye on seismic activity in California and have discovered a number of fault lines that might rupture. One of the most well-known and hazardous fault lines in the state is the San Andreas Fault, and scientists have warned that a significant earthquake is long overdue. Significant dangers are also associated with other fault lines, such as the Cascadia Subduction Zone and the Hayward Fault. A significant earthquake in California may have disastrous effects, resulting in fatalities, destruction of infrastructure, and disturbance of the economy. It is imperative that citizens, companies, and governmental organizations have emergency preparations and supplies ready. In case of such an occurrence, the effects of a significant earthquake can also be lessened by making investments in early warning systems and infrastructure that is resistant to earthquakes. To artificial intelligence's ascent. Nostradamus foresaw that artificial intelligence, AI, will grow more sophisticated and pervasive in 2024, revolutionizing a number of facets of human life. He predicted that the machines will surpass the humans in intelligence and skill, implying that artificial intelligence, AI, will advance to a point where it will either equal or surpass human capacity. This forecast is in line with current developments in AI research and development, as engineers and scientists work to expand the capabilities of robots. The development of AI has the potential to improve many areas of life, including education and healthcare. It can lead to more precise diagnoses and tailored treatments, as well as increased production and efficiency across a range of sectors. By evaluating enormous volumes of data and seeing patterns and answers that people would miss. Artificial intelligence, AI, may also be able to assist in the solution of difficult issues, like climate change. But the development of AI also brings up social and ethical issues. For example, there are concerns that when computers take over jobs that were previously handled by people, artificial intelligence may result in economic inequality and employment displacement. Concerns exist regarding the possible abuse of AI for nefarious intent, including war, manipulation, and spying. To maximize AI's advantages and reduce its hazards, it is imperative that technology be developed and applied ethically. 1. A new global leader. Nostradamus foresaw the rise of a new world leader in 2024, who would have a big influence on international politics. He predicted that a great leader will rise from the East, who will unite the world and bring peace and prosperity. This prediction has been interpreted in a number of ways. Some think it may be a reference to a political person, while others think it might be a spiritual or cultural leader. The international community and stability of the planet may be significantly impacted by the emergence of a new global leader. The globe may become more peaceful and affluent if this leader can encourage international cooperation and teamwork. However, an authoritarian or polarizing leader may intensify already existing tensions and spark new ones. It's still unknown who this new global leader is and whether or not Nostradamus' prophecy will come to pass. It does, however, serve as a reminder of the power that one person has to influence history and the necessity of leadership in tackling the possibilities and problems that lie ahead. Finally, Nostradamus' prophecies for 2024 are thought-provoking and fascinating. Some of his predictions appear implausible, while others are in line with recent advances in science, technology, and geopolitics. Regardless of the outcome, these forecasts serve as a helpful reminder of the unpredictable nature of the future and the importance of being ready for anything that may arise. Which prediction do you think that will come true? Tell us in the comments below. Give the video a thumbs up if you enjoy it. Click on any of the videos on the screen or visit the channel to view more of our productions. I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you later.